Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Bill, it's 8 o'clock. You ready to get started?
I'm ready, Randy. Let's go.
Okay. Well, everyone, welcome to another session of Blue Island 101. My name is Randy Heuser, and also with me is Bill Farrenwald. Today we'll be discussing Public Works and the Water Department.
Sounds good, Randy. And for everyone watching, we are monitoring the YouTube comments and the Zoom chat. So if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type away and we will do our best to answer your questions during the session.
All right. Well, Bill, you want to get started with Public Works and the Water Department?
All right, sure. We got a lot of information to impart. It's a critical part of the city, and we'll run through this. And then again, if you got questions, let us know. So the Public Works and Water Department, which are a combined department, have 24 employees, and they work from a supervisor, an administrative assistant, and 22 employees. And it used to be that there were two separate departments, but they were combined about 8 years ago. And for their activities, the city is divided up into 10 zones of service, and the supervisor then can assign duties to different employees for each day. And they are responsible for the day-to-day maintenance of the city's roads and parkways, the water and sewer systems, and other city properties. Blue Island has 45.7 miles of locally owned roads, which does not include quite a few: Western Avenue, Old Western, 119th Street, 127th Street, Vermont Street, Wyerton Road, Broadway, and 139th, which are county or state roads. And Public Works does patch potholes throughout the city, and during the summer months, they use hot patch, which is a more permanent type of material, and then during the winter months, they use cold patch, which only lasts until such time as it can be replaced with hot patch. So they try to get most of the patching done during the warmer summer months.
And we all know our roads are wonderful. A whole nother session on street resurfacing will be coming up in a couple of weeks. So we're definitely going to be addressing that in one of our future sessions.
Good, because that would take the whole session here tonight if we were to do it tonight. That's great. So then, of course, as winter is now approaching, the thing that's probably forefront on people's minds is snow and the impending winter weather. The city sees about 20 to 25 to 30 what we call events each year. And these could be anything from weather conditions that are just right for icy roads to a full-blown blizzard. We have contracted a meteorological service to inform us of any impending incidents. That's not so easy to say, that are headed our way.
Sorry about that.
Quite all right. And then to further prepare for these events, the city implements an A-B shift, 2 shifts, to ensure that staff is always available to keep the streets clear times. And the roads and the streets are plowed by priority order. It makes some sense. The first thing that we hit are bridges, of course, because they get icy and that's very dangerous. Right behind that are high-speed roads like 127th and Western and 119th and so on. And then the secondary roads, and with those, the snow routes get treated first with secondary roads. And then they get to the remaining roads. But if it is a minor snowstorm, like an inch or two of snow, these streets might not get any plowing because they'll just get tramped down or melt on their own accord. And in total, during a typical season, the city uses between 2,000 and 2,400 tons of road salt per year. And to put that in perspective, a railroad car holds 100 tons of stuff. So that's 20 to 24 railroad cars full of salt every year. That's a lot. And then this is not where Public Works responsibilities end. They do a lot. We have a street sweeper that we get to use as much as possible, depending on weather. And this helps to keep leaves and debris from getting in the sewers and clogging them up, as well as just keeping the city streets clean. Trees in the parkways, and the city parkways, are owned by the city, and these trees are maintained, cut down if necessary by the city between the sidewalk and the street. Concrete work, sidewalk and curb replacement as needed, although we talk about it in that other session, we'll talk about the limitations we have there. Street lights, we maintain and replace bulbs for all city-owned street lights, and a handy thing to know is that any wooden poles you'll see are owned by ComEd, and those poles, the lights on those poles are maintained by ComEd, and the metal poles are owned by the city, and those lights we replace. If you want to call in for a replacement in a bulb, look at the number on the pole. That really helps them service it for you. And then there are a myriad of other tasks, such as street sign replacement. We even make some of our own signs, graffiti removal, and the city's pretty prompt about doing that still. Cutting grass and roadway rights of way and at abandoned properties, and then maintaining all city-owned parking lots. And then another important, probably the thing you see most often that Public Works has to do with is trash pickup and recycling, but that is handled by a private firm, Lake Shore Recycling. We're in a 3 of a 5-year contract. Thank you, Randy. That's great. Because here's the map that's so helpful. And it is on the city website in the Public Works area. You've got to go search around a little bit, but you can find it there. Actually, if you type in Blue Island trash pickup or recycling, it usually will take you there. And the trash days are shown by, kind of district there. And recycling is picked up every other week. So if you see those zones that are marked 2 right now, this week is the week that zone 2 gets picked up. And next week, zone 1 would be for the recycling is picked up just every other week. And the holidays that, that they don't serve, generally speaking, was that they kind of shift the pickup down one day because they pick up Monday through Thursday. So sometimes they'll shove down into Friday if is a holiday in the week. And yard waste also is picked up by Lakeshore Recycling between April 1 and November 30, which just passed by us, as you'll note. And so after that date, the city picks up yard waste between December 1 and March 31. And then finally, City Blue Island offers, I don't know if it's unique, but it's not common in all suburbs, it's a nice thing, is that the city Public Works Department picks up bulk items. And I'm amazed at what they will pick up. And they usually come by with a truck the day after your regular garbage pickup is scheduled. And we pick up, 4 or 5 20-yard dumpsters every day. So it's a lot of stuff that gets taken, and that keeps the alleys and the streets clear of debris. And that's why we do it. So that is a quick run through of Public Works and Water Department. And Randy, you would talk to us a little bit more about water.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the water and sewer departments in the city of Blue Island. The city of Blue Island gets their water from the city of Chicago, which in turn gets the water from Lake Michigan. Chicago definitely prepares the water so that it's drinking and sends it downstream directly to us. We have a few connections to the Chicago water supply so that if there's a problem, we won't be without water. Blue Island pumps approximately 2 million gallons of water per day, and we have storage capacity of about 4 million gallons. We have 2 elevated water towers, one on the east side of the town and one on the west side of the town. You wonder why they're elevated. If we do have loss of service or loss of power, the elevation of the water keeps it so that there's a water pressure on our lines. Each one of those tanks on the east side of the town and west side of town holds approximately 1 million gallons of water. We have 2 ground level tanks as well. So we have that hold about 1 million gallons each. So we have a 2-day water supply at full usage. If something happens, we would obviously, be able to make other arrangements and have people slow down on their usage and whatever. But the city has 3 certified water operators, and they're responsible for ensuring that our water supply meets all the EPA guidelines. Although the water is ready to be consumed when it comes to us, we have to rechlorinate it to get it as we prepare to send it through our system to our residents. Our water operators are responsible to monitor that on a daily basis. They also test for bacteria. a couple times a month, and they provide periodic checks for copper and lead in our lines. City crews also maintain the water mains throughout the city. They also maintain the water service lines up to the Buffalo box. That's the box in the parkway before the sidewalk. That's where we can turn the water on or off. When residential meters need to be replaced, our staff will take care of that. And here's another little known fact. Our water meters are not electronic or smart meters. They are impeller driven. So when the water goes through, it makes the dial spin. That's the only way we can have water register as being used when it goes through the meter. And as these meters age, the impeller actually slows down a little bit. So that's why we have to change these out periodically. Our city crews are also responsible for repairs and maintenance of the sewer lines, as well as vacuuming out the catch basins, like we talked about, the keeping the street cleaners to keep the leaves and debris off the street so it doesn't get into the sewer and make its way down the runoff and down to the MWRD for processing. Speaking of MWRD, almost all communities in the greater Chicago area do not process their own sewage and stormwater. This is taken care of by MWRD, or Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. They are the ones that built the deep tunnel project recently in the Thornton Quarry that can hold stormwater. And unfortunately, we've had some pretty serious rains, and that has filled up and it's kind of backed up into some of our neighborhoods. It's not so pleasant. Homeowners are responsible for the entire connection from the sewer, from the house to the main. Usually the main's in the middle of the street. So yeah, that's when I had a tree in front of my house, and I had clay tile there, and it crushed it. And right before my daughter was going to college, I had to pay for that. That wasn't such a fun expense.
That was an extra year of college, right there.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So then on to water billing. Water billing is generated by the water clerks that work in City Hall. Each month, a crew of public works workers walks the city, going house to house, getting water meter readings that subsequently get loaded into our billing software that generates these bills. Water bills are sent out monthly and are due on the 19th of every month. If the 19th falls on a Saturday, like it does this month, the water bill is due the 18th. If it falls on the 9th on a Sunday, then it's due Monday the 20th. There's several ways to pay your water bill. You can do cash, check, or charge in person. You can send it to us via US mail, or you can sign up for online with GreenPay, which gives you two options. You can do automatic payments, which come from a checking or savings account, or you can log in monthly and pay by credit card. One of the benefits of signing up for GreenPay is that you can get your water bill via email as soon as it's issued, instead of having to wait for the US mail. We all know that's been a little touchy lately. You can go to blueisland.org. On the right-hand side, about a third of the way down, you can click here to pay your bill or sign up for ePay. We have a pretty hefty 10% penalty for late payment. We just want people to pay our bills because, like I said earlier, we get our water from the city of Chicago, and we have to pay that bill every month. So we're just wanting to collect the bills as they come in, as we use the water. And here's a little inside scoop for you. Late fees are not put on the water bills until after we get the US mail the next day, and until we enter all the payments that were in the lockbox on the front door the night before. So I've had people come up to the door like at 4:01 saying, oh, everything's already shut down, but if you put that payment in that box there, it'll get entered and there won't be a late payment on there until it's usually around noon. Should also mention that if you're having trouble paying your water bill and falling behind, please contact Betty in the water department at 708-396-7064 and set up a payment plan. That's a pretty short one today, Bill, but that's pretty much covers those two departments. And like you said at the beginning, they're important. It's an important department. Make us look good.
One thing that from being a sitting alderman now for 4 years, probably one of the more common, I guess, surprises that I hear residents have is when their water bill is suddenly larger than they expected it to be. And it's kind of hard to believe, but a leaking toilet.
Oh,
If you toilet, okay, and this would be a real slow leaking toilet. If it leaked 5 gallons every hour, I mean, that's pretty slow leak for a toilet. That's 30,600 gallons of water in a month. That stuff adds up.
yes,
So
it is.
that it happens, unfortunately. And unfortunately, when it happens, the resident has to pay because we paid the city of Chicago for that water. So just be aware. And if you hear a toilet leaking, go
Yeah.
to look at it, take care of it, because that can get expensive.
Yeah, and water, 6, 8, 10 years ago was $1.75 a thousand gallons. Now it's like 10,000 or $10 a thousand. So you notice that, hey, my bill went up $10. Well, that's just 1,000 gallons. I mean, back in the day, you had your $15, $20 water bills. Now they're 50 or 60, and yeah, that adds up. Definitely adds
Yeah.
up.
I grew up in the city of Chicago, Randy, and when I was a kid, the houses it was a set amount that you paid. It was based on the number of faucets that were in your house, and it was like $1 a month or something at that point. So
Yeah.
there isn't
Yeah.
free anymore.
No, and water is becoming a scarce commodity. So we really, I think that's part of why they're making us make sure that we treat it that way. But
Yeah, but it's all important stuff, and Public Works performs a real critical function. And I think our crews, that we don't have overstaffing is not an issue
no.
throughout the city, and they all work real hard, and we are getting we get our money's worth out of those folks. There's no question about it.
When I first got in office in 2013, our Public Works department was almost twice as much as it is now. We're really, to coin the phrase, doing more with less, and they're doing. So be patient. Sometimes it takes a while to get everyone around to get to what we need to get done. Yeah, I don't see any other questions in the chat. Any final words there, Bill?
I think just it will be interesting, Randy, when we get a chance to talk further about the streets and alleys. It is really the thing that all of us in the city hear most about, and we understand why. And it's an important subject, and it needs some serious and important consideration. So that'll be a good one to talk about. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of what we have to say for today.
All right. See you. I guess, huh?
Yeah. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can get notifications when we are doing our next meeting, as well as being able to view the past sessions. And thanks for listening. I hope the session has been informative for you.